Every time I hear that intro, it makes me wanna get my freaking horns up and
Doesn't it?
headbang. Like it's so it's so funny, man.
It's
Uh,
the first 10 seconds are actually so catchy.
oh yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back everyone. If you're here for the first time, welcome in general to the Mount Rushmore of podcast. This is episode 15. We have a very special guest today, Tom House. He's also in our unit with us, but contrary to our last guest, he is on the maintenance side of the house, and he is, yeah, rip, and he is currently helping lead the charge on the conversion of our squadron. So yeah, Tom, welcome to the Mount Rushmore of podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's great to be here. And although I may be maintenance or used to be, I am officially operations now. As of last Wednesday.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah. And you're
That's
more
awesome.
operations than Olivia is, because Olivia's actually not in our
Not
unit
even in
anymore.
the squadron.
So
I'm not
whatever.
even in the squadron anymore.
Once in the squadron, always in the squadron. It's like a cult.
horns up.
I agree. Get your horns up, baby. Yeah, so this week we're gonna get into Tom's bachelor meals. That is what Ponzi decided would be the guest topic from last week. And then we're gonna get into our favorite video games and then some numbing strategies in terms of like numbing shame or just like things you do to like numb your feelings. So we're gonna take it a little on the serious side for the last topic. But yeah, Tom, do you have anything else like about yourself? I know we're probably gonna learn a decent amount about you with the bachelor meals.
Yeah.
I think that's like a good judge of like character.
It will be. And I feel like I'm the expert there because I've been a bachelor for like 30 years. So yeah, this was a tough
Hell
one. But yeah, other than that, I think the intro is pretty spot on. Been in the unit for 10 years, but yeah, we'll see where the future goes. So I don't know. You want me to kick this thing off and give you my top 4 choices?
Not yet.
Cool.
But
Trigger happy.
I probably should have told you that. But we will get there soon.
Awesome. Okay.
We did some guest lore. Real quick, we're gonna go around the room of how everyone's week was. So, Tom, as the guest of honor, would you like to let the fine people know how your week was?
Sure. Yeah, the week wasn't bad. Things like, I don't know, Marcus knows, the things at work have been pretty busy over the last 3 months doing all that investment, but last week was kind of easy. It was kind of nice. Half the time I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but it's been nice to have a little bit of break. Finished up school, so I'm no longer done with this term. So that's been nice, not having to work for way too many hours and then work the midnight hours trying to get all my school done.
Yeah.
And I got a B. So yeah, not the A that I was looking for. Yeah, but
C's get degrees.
I know,
yeah,
right?
man. It's so true. As long as you pass, who gives a crap?
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, the week's been pretty good. We got a nice 3-day weekend, so I can't complain.
Heck yeah. That's dope. Marcus?
What are the big nuggets here? I'm trying to think. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, spoiler alert, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing. Throughout the week, we just played a lot of pickleball at work. That was great. And then Friday.
Perfect.
So Friday, you know, I've been pretty dang good on my little old diet. And Friday, I was like, Tom's already heard this story last night. We were hanging out. Decided to get taps at breakfast time. I was like, I've been good. I've earned it. And I get it. It's immaculate. It's delicious as always.
Uh-oh.
And everything is fine. Everything is fine throughout like the whole day, like during the work hours. But then there was a going away lunch and whatnot. So like we kind of had a short day. And so it was Friday too, and we'd have 59er. So everybody left at like 11:30 to go to a lunch thing. I wasn't gonna go. I didn't go. Kind of feel bad, but I kind of don't feel that bad. Just because it was Thai food, and I'm trying to stay as far away from soy as possible. And all Asian food is just like soy sauce galore on everything. And so like I go home to take Margot out, and I'm like, oh, like my tummy's starting to feel kind of dookie and not so great. Nothing like crazy happens. I just kind of feel kind of slow all day. I go to the gym. The gym is fine. All good. And then I get home from work, and I was like, I'm not going to eat. Like, I'm good. I just don't feel like eating at all, which is kind of bad for me right now because of my workout schedule. Not eating is like, it just means that I'll be sore for way longer. So it's no bueno. And so like I had some yogurt. I had like my daily at lunch. I have a cup of yogurt with a teaspoon of honey or tablespoon of honey. And I had that. And everything was kind of fine. And then I had one small glass, less than a shot. Like I just wanted a little whiskey flavor in my life. And I sipped on a like probably 3/4 of a shot of whiskey. And then went to sleep, and everything was like feeling okay. And then I woke up on Saturday morning, and it felt like I had drank, I don't know, the whole bottle. Like someone snuck into the house in the middle of the night and like gave me an alcohol IV. I had a straight up like hangover. And it's got to be like the mixture of, I haven't drank in a while. I mean, I didn't even feel a buzz, so that's kind of weird, but between the alcohol and that burrito, like all of Saturday was just shot right in the face. And I was an absolute slug the whole day. Just felt like ass.
Hell yeah.
So what we're going to need to do is have another Taps burrito to test out if it's Taps or not.
True.
That sounds like some empirical evidence right there.
That's the only way to find out.
We've got to do a study here.
Way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you have to have somebody who repeats the study, right? Like it's got to be reproducible. It's part of the scientific method. And then Saturday, I mean, it was fine. It was a fine day. I just drank a lot of water, ate my normal diet. Everything was fine. Normal Sunday, went to yoga, then went to Gaetano's.
Stop.
Okay. I'm the layman here. What's Gaetano's?
It is downtown. It's an Italian, it's like an Italian store. So they sell nice olive oils and Italian wine and like Italian baking products. Yeah. But it's also a full deli, and like you can buy lasagna, like homemade lasagna and stuff.
Shop.
And it's basically across the street from Cut and Shave. It's across the street and like half a block down.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. I think I've seen it going home.
It's like right on the corner. It is fucking beans. It's so good. Holy shit.
I don't think it'd be great for your gluten allergy. However, it's so, dude, they have this sandwich. I don't remember like what the fuck it's called, but it's
Hoboken. Hoboken?
No, I like very simple prosciutto, Parmesan cheese, arugula, and like they put like balsamic glaze.
Oh, that's delicious.
Oh, dude, that one is so simple, but it's so like perfect.
You know, I'm not a big like bread eater. I've never, you know, people like hear the word bread and they get like a chub going. I've never been one of those people. But their bread, holy shit, it's
their
out of this world.
Stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be
their bread is
homemade.
so dumb.
And they
Oh,
probably
it
make
has to
it.
be.
I'm sure they make it with the products that they sell, so maybe the gluten stuff wouldn't even be that big of a deal.
Oh yeah.
I'll just do like I did on Thursday. I think I went to I stopped by Peter Pan Market. I was like, you know what, I'm craving a sandwich. So I got, I forget which one it was, but it sounded delicious. I was like, I popped 2 Benadryls right before I ate it. Golden.
Oh,
I was
good.
super tired, but I was golden. I could still breathe. So
Man, Peter Pan has good Sammys too.
dude, their soups are really good too. If you haven't had their soups,
I have had their soup. It's so good.
Agreed.
Oh,
We'll have to let's have a little lunch date on Friday. We'll go get Gaetano's.
deal. Okay. I'll see you guys there.
I'm down.
Hey,
Just kidding. I wish.
We'll FaceTime you so you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So the Italian is the one I get, and it's prosciutto, sweet coppa, Genoa salami, mozzarella, arugula, balsamic glaze, and sandwich oil, and it's fucking.
Have you ever had the Hoboken?
I have not, but I'm looking at it right now, and it looks fucking good. Oh, mortadella.
What's on that one, Marcus?
Mortadella, hot capicola, Genoa salami, provolone, lettuce, tomato, red on, pepperoncini, mayo, sandwich oil.
Nice.
I think it's either the Italian panini or like pastrami panini or something like that.
Yeah, they have the pastrami.
They put some like garlic aioli on it, and it will wipe your socks off. Oh, it's so
man.
Good. But yeah, so I had that for lunch.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to find one. I'll have to find one that I'm willing to sacrifice my body for. It'll be great.
The Hoboken for sure. Maybe Lives too.
It's or the OG Italiano.
Well, you've never had the Hoboken, so.
They also have the meatball sub. I've never had the meatball sub, but I bet it would knock my.
It's annoying.
Have you had it?
Yes, it was the first thing I ever got there.
Meatball subs are annoying.
Like the meatballs are so huge.
Oh yeah, that's the only way.
Why? No, just make them smaller. Make them smaller and put more of them.
You gotta have the big balls.
It was a design. It also has mushrooms, and I hate mushrooms, so maybe I was already doomed from the first bite.
Does their sauce have mushrooms in it?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Tom, I'll get the Hoboken. You get the normal Italian, and we'll go halvesies.
Halvesies. You want to do halvesies?
Yeah.
Also, if you guys, well, if you're going during work hours, you can't really do it. But their peach Bellini is fucking unbelievable as well. So, highly recommend.
All right, it's going to be a dinner thing then. Nice.
Nice.
Wow.
Anything else for your week, Mister?
Yeah, and so then I came home.
Okay.
And
156 of this novel.
Sundays are like my only day of the week where anything happens that's worthy of talking about. So I didn't want to just, I think it's the sandwich, like all that just crazy good oily garlickiness got me a little spoiled, and I was like, I don't want to just eat bland chicken breast and like 12 ounces of it for dinner. I want to do something special. So I had a little bit of plain Greek yogurt left, and I made my own plain Greek yogurt ranch. Essentially, it's just plain Greek yogurt, onion powder, black pepper, dill, garlic powder, salt, and I put chili powder in it. And then I chopped up the chicken, put it in the air fryer to get it nice and crispy, and then just dunked it, like just put all of this like yogurt shit on top of it, and oh my god, it's incredible. It's incredible. I would say it tasted more like tzatziki than it did ranch, but
I could see that.
That's probably the Greek yogurt in it, but
either way, it was
Probably tasty as fuck.
Nice.
I was very content, which made me
Good.
happy. Yes. Anything else? I don't think so. Nope, that's
Hell
it.
yeah.
That's it. Your turn.
My week, not much to report during the week.
Oh, Marco had
Just
diarrhea
kinda-
on the carpet twice. So,
Again.
yep.
Hey,
it's
did she
that.
get better after the first day? Or the day that we were talking?
Yeah, that was the second time, and she's been
Okay.
fine since then.
Good.
Yikes.
Anyway, yeah. Wait, before you start, do you guys want to hear my system for cleaning up dog shit? Like soupy. It's not pure water
Oh.
diarrhea. It's like baby food.
Say yes or no, so go ahead.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's a good trick.
Sure.
You get I have a shop vac that is purely just a dog shit cleaning up shop vac at this point.
Ew.
Yeah, it sits outside
I can see
under
the
the
necessity, right? So okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean it's whatever. It's accidents happen, as this would probably work, if you have you get a baby one day, you just pick one up wherever you get those at, and it throws up on the carpet, whatever. Like it could work for anything. So and this is carpet specifically. So there's two ways that you can do it. I've gotten lazy. I used to just like pick up all of it with like paper towels. But that was really stinky, awful work. So now I just suck it up with the shop vac, and then I get my sink water comes out like boiling water. Like no joke. It's like you will burn yourself on this water. That's how hot it is. If you go all the way hot. So I get like piping hot water, put a little soap in it, and then just like pour water on the areas that have been affected, let it sit for a few minutes and like soak in, and then you take the shop vac and you vacuum over it, and you just like suck all the water out of the carpet, and the water coming back up cleans all of the poop off the.
That almost sounds like the poor man's carpet shampooer.
It is. So it ends up looking weird because the spot looks so much cleaner than the rest of the carpet. So you get like a reverse spot.
Makes sense.
So I just need Margot to shit all over the carpet, like on every inch of it.
Better. Like I wonder if your method works better than the carpet shampooers, because it's what I used when my dog used to do that on a carpet. And I felt like even after going over it 2 or 3 times, it's just pushing the crap into the carpet.
Yeah, maybe.
So, yeah, if I ever get a dog again, I'll have to try your method.
Yeah, and I mean a shop vac is cheaper than a carpet cleaner.
So, like, have you emptied out the shop vac?
Yeah.
Never. He just leaves it month after month.
There's just diarrhea in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cleaned it out. I will, like rinse it. It's just a big plastic one. I just rinse it out like once a year.
I assume you
once
took the filter out of it.
Yeah, I took the filter out of it. It just sits outside underneath the awning, like under a table.
Nice. I mean, that's what they're used for, cleaning up random crap.
I know. So. It's just I don't know, just like diarrhea getting sucked up in vacuum is just making my stomach like.
Yeah. Well,
soup.
Yeah,
poop soup.
Bachelor. Yeah, it's not a pretty job, but it's a job that has to get done.
Yeah, it's gonna get done.
Okay, yeah. Now it's your turn.
Yeah, Liv, how was your day or week? I should say.
Yeah, not much to report during the work week. I guess just kind of standard operations. Go to work, come home, eat, go to bed. Not really. There's more involved. However,
you're describing my life right now.
However, just like standard work week. And then this weekend, Eddie and I did a lot of yard work. So yesterday morning we woke up, and we went up to Lowe's and we got a bunch of like stuff to landscape part of our front yard. So like this builder in the neighborhood that we live in, like I don't even care if he ever hears this. He probably won't, but he just took like shortcuts here and there. And like I get it when
As
you're
they
like
do.
mass producing homes, but like there's just so many things about this house that are like so annoying, and like both of our neighbors on either side of us are like the same way. And so the first year after you move in, it's like on the contract on your closing paperwork that like the builder has like 1 year to come like fix like shit that's gone wrong in the house. No questions asked. Well, this dude only came over to our house like 3 times the whole year. And like my husband and I probably had like a laundry list of shit that needed to be like fixed. Like the flooring is already starting to come up. We've been in this house a little bit over 1 year now. But like just shit like that, like the floor should not be lifting. Like the doors were like not lining up properly, and it's not even because the house is settling. This is like once the house was like finished. It's like right after we moved in, the doors were just not shutting properly. Like they just weren't the correct size door, so like they had to come fix. Anyway, another thing
That's
is
fun.
they didn't do any landscaping in the front yards of any house. Like no garden bed, or sorry, no like front flower beds or anything. Like it's just here's your front porch and here's your front yard, which is red clay where we
Oh
live.
shit.
So like at least they put sod down for us. But not everyone in the neighborhood got sod. We like asked for it specifically. Anywho, so after a year of being here, we finally landscaped the front yard. So we made like a little flower bed and stuff. And then Eddie and I have started our gardening journey. And so in the backyard, we have raised garden beds, and so we were putting down rocks and stuff. Kind of around where
Your
the
rock
garden
garden.
beds are gonna go. No,
Some Viking graves.
the rocks we put down like the like no weed fabric stuff, and then we
Yeah.
put down rocks in that area, and then we're gonna put down tarps actually underneath the garden bed, and then we're gonna put mulch over the like garden tarp thing. So
Nice.
more on that next weekend, but the flower bed in the front took us literally like 7 hours yesterday
Oh damn.
because Eddie had to fucking dig up all the like grass and part of the red clay that's like in our front yard, and he's like, this shit's way too heavy because we like watered it down before
Oh
so he could get in
no.
though, because if we didn't water it, that clay, like there's no way he would have been able to like
Was
get
it
up
really hard?
underneath it. Oh yeah.
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 Okay.
So we had to wet it, but then wetting it makes it like 50 million times heavier. So he was like, sorry. It's like, I'll just do this part. And I was like, okay. I'll just sit here.
I
So I was
like
basically doing
watching you
that.
work.
Yeah,
Jeez.
exactly. And then yeah, we planted some boxwood shrubs and some lantana, which is like
Okay.
a native Texas flower, and it attracts
Okay.
like hummingbirds and butterflies and stuff. So, and
Oh,
they come back every year unless
nice.
there's like a crazy freeze. Um, and so yeah, it's nice because they're native to Texas, so they do really well in the hot, burning sun that's down here during the summer, and they don't like die as long as you water them like once a day, which I mean, I'm doing that anyway with all my other plants. Yeah, as long as you keep watering them, like they're not gonna die from the heat. So yeah, it's awesome. Hummingbirds are finally back. We got our feeders up, so it's good. We just did a lot of stuff around the house this weekend that we've been wanting to do, and it was nice.
I'm
Awesome.
excited to. This is gonna be fucked up, but I'm excited to hear during the summertime we're gonna have an episode where you're gonna be like, "Oh, my flowers died. I forgot to go water them for one day, and they're all
or
dead."
complaining about how much
Nice.
upkeep they take and all that crap.
That's so funny. So I only planted so like we have 2 shrubs now, like the boxwoods that are like on the 2 ends of the flower bed, and then towards the middle I planted 4 lantana. Kind of in like a little square essentially. Far enough away from each other so they have room to grow, but um it's nice though because our flower bed, the sprinklers come up. We have 2 sprinkler heads in the flower bed. So theoretically once I think on the
Sprinklers.
docket next weekend is we're gonna plant or put down the new grass seed for the spring, and we'll be running the sprinklers every day. So for a while I won't have to water them per se, but I don't know. My dad has lantana at his house and they survive. They survive in the
I mean, if they're
dead of
designed for
summer.
Texas, then they should
Yeah,
be
they're
okay.
they're native
right?
to Texas. So I think that's why they do so well because like the hanging, so I love the hanging plants so much, but like in the summer here, you water them and then you put them up, like you put them off the hangers, and then like they die because it's just too fucking hot and dry. And so you water them in the morning and then by mid-afternoon, like they're just dry. Like it's
They
fine.
already gave
So
up.
I have them up right now. I have them up right now because it's not too hot yet, and they're actually holding moisture. But yeah, I killed a lot of hanging plants last year because the Texas 110-degree weather just fucking annihilated them.
You're
I
a
can imagine.
murderer.
I
Yeah,
killed my fair share of plants last year, like working out at the
hell
coast.
yeah.
Like I had a bunch of indoors, and I don't get enough sun at my house because I have 2 really big oak trees in the front and back. So I was trying my hand at the indoor planting, and they worked okay. And I remember I saved one basil tree, a bush, if you will, brought it to work with me out in Astoria. Left the poor thing in my office for 5 days. Dude, I came back and it was dried out. Like I tried putting it outside to like revitalize it. It was done. So
Dead.
yeah, I failed at the green thumb thing.
It's okay. I just killed some cucumbers accidentally, so
Yeah.
I have one cucumber plant left, the little cucumber that could.
That's crazy. Yeah, my biggest shame to fame is I killed a Japanese maple in my front yard because I forgot to water it for like 6 months. Yeah, I felt bad about that one. But,
it's all right.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I'll just plant another one next year. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever thought about growing a bonsai tree?
No.
It's funny you say that. I have a kit. Like this was like 4 years ago. Like Amazon Prime does their Amazon Shopping Day or whatever it's called. They had this kit where you could grow 3 bonsai trees from seeds, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. And I'm going to tell you, they're still in the box. And I've never opened it.
Still not growing.
I've heard bonsai trees are actually really difficult to keep alive.
Well, so here's a fun fact. Bonsai tree, you don't have any tree that you do it's more of a growth, the way that you grow it. So you can do a bonsai with any tree. Yeah, it's a technique. So it depends on the tree also. So
I think a lot of it's juniper.
Yeah, so like I planted a weeping willow in my backyard last year. And weeping willows are like one of the common ones that people use because they're so easy to grow. And all you need to do is like snip one branch off of your weeping willow, like a new sprout, and put it in soil. And there's your bonsai starter. That's it. It's that easy. So I've been thinking about it. Excuse me.
Yeah, we'll check in
Just
with
for
you in like
funsies.
10 years to see how it's going.
Yeah.
Because the certain thing I heard is they take a long time to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was everyone's week. Don't forget to like and sub. Top comment this week, Jack Ryan is back, baby. Yeah, so he was the only commenter, therefore he is the top commenter.
Hey, we don't
So
gotta say that
thank
part out
you.
loud.
Well, everyone can
No,
go
you can
check,
edit
so
it
it's
out
fine.
in the post production. Yeah.
Yeah.
You win by default.
Yeah. Anyway, here's what Jack Ryan had to say. So he said, I do a similar thing to Logan's coffee shop test where I just order a regular mocha. It's my go-to drink, and if a place can't make a decent mocha, then the rest of their menu is probably not worth trying. Totally agree. I love mochas as well. Um then he said, as a kid, I thought I would want to pursue something with a significant degree of freedom and creativity, like being a comedian, movie star, or video game developer when I grew up. Now, as an adult, he put quotations around adult. Um, he said, I think, or I hope, I have a better understanding of who I am, what my strengths are, and a different perspective in terms of what I would consider to be a fulfilling and meaningful job slash career. Thank you, Jack Ryan, for your insightful take on last week's topics. If you weren't here, go listen to last week's episode to figure out what we're talking about. So I'm not telling you. So,
Suck it.
all right. Yeah. Get in the comments, everyone. We love hearing comments like this. Excuse me.
Sick.
Brings a lot of joy to our day. And with that, I think we're going to jump into Tom's bachelor meals.
Dun dun dun. All right, cool. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, I had to think about this.
Oh, that
one.
wasn't what I thought it was.
No, that was perfect though. Yeah, so I actually thought about this a lot, right? So I work a busy schedule. Like I don't know, most of you might know. I live in Hillsboro on the weekends. I work in Astoria during the week. So there's a lot of commuting, which doesn't give me a lot of time for meal prep. So I'd have to say,
Yeah.
my go-to though for number one bachelor meal is soup. Here, I guess I can write this in. I won't be
What
lazy.
kind of soup?
Honestly, it's a variety. So my roommate is in a past life, he was a chef for like 20 years. So we'll
Hell
meal
yeah.
prep. We'll make homemade soups. My favorite's probably tortilla, like a chicken tortilla.
Oh yeah.
Or chili. I'm thinking
Yep.
one weekend I made corn chowder. So it's a very wide variety of soup, right?
I'm a soup lover. If someone
yeah.
asks me like, what's your favorite like
Soup
food
slut.
genre? Soup. Yep.
Sure.
Soup slut. Make me a shirt
Dude, you
that
can do
says soup
much
slut.
with it. You got leftover food, throw it into a soup, right? Like
Totally.
it's totally versatile, man. You made
Yep.
5-pound roast of pork. Well, what are you gonna turn it into? I've done this. Chili, what is it? Green chili and pork soup.
Hell yeah, dude.
Spot on, right? All right. So number 2, and this isn't really a meal as per se a food group, but just rice. Right. So I'll make I don't know, I was working nights at Intel. I would just make like 3 cups of rice. Well, okay, so it's not just straight rice. I flavor it like curry rice, whatever. Like I'll throw in some flavors, right? So just yesterday, I took some spices out of the cabinet, threw in some curry powder, onion powder, a little chipotle, kind of like mix it up a little bit, and now I've got 3 cups of rice that I eat on all week, right? So
hell yeah.
Bachelor food number 2, rice. Number 3, I think it will probably be on a lot of people's thing, is just frozen dinners. Dude, whatever's easy, right? Take it out of the freezer, throw it in a freaking microwave, and in nothing flat, I've got something to eat. And a lot of ones, and I'm trying to remember the brand, but I go for the more healthy ones.
Yeah.
Hungry man.
It's the cafe, healthy choice, but more like the cafe steamers, right? So
yeah.
eating like
I'll
2
show
of those
you a
'cause they
cafe steamer.
I am a cafe steamer.
Margo will leave you a cafe steamer.
Dude, Yeah. Okay. I heard half of what you said, but I'm just gonna leave that one alone. But the only complaint I have with them is they don't have enough calories. So you got to eat like 2 of them, otherwise you eat one,
Yeah.
and then you're hungry like 5 minutes later. Like people need to stop dieting. Oh jeez.
That's from the earlier topic.
Yeah. Nice. And the last one isn't even really a food, but my go-to when I'm like hungry and I don't want to cook is popcorn.
Wow.
That's a hell of a
I
meal.
love popcorn.
You know what, man? I will eat popcorn all the time.
I've had popcorn for dinner.
Yeah, dude. I actually had some last night while we were playing. We can throw a little chili powder on there, or
you make fancy
something.
popcorn.
I make fancy popcorn. But yeah, that's my bachelor top 4.
Go.
Oh yeah,
Living
I like
large.
how soup, rice, and popcorn. That's so good, man.
I mean, I cook, right? But like, if I'm going for just quick down and dirty,
I totally get it.
Like, that's it, man. Like, that's totally it.
Nope, that's
I can't
all
believe
Tom
you didn't
eats.
put mac and cheese and hot dogs, bro.
Well, you know why? Because I can't eat them. So I hate hot dogs. Like they're just, I don't like them. I know my brother calls them like fridge dogs, right?
Yeah.
And I can't eat bread, so I had to like modify my diet like within the last 2 years because I actually started.
What
paying
about like a
attention to it.
bratwurst?
Oh, I love bratwurst.
Okay,
or even
so you
just
like
like an Italian sausage. Yeah. Or I'll throw. I recently got an air fryer, so I'll throw a pork chop in the air fryer for 30 minutes, and then I've got pork chops and stuff. But
wow,
if I'm thinking like true bachelor meal, takes less than like 10 minutes to make. Yeah, this is my list.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
No, just like for lunch today, I think I roasted up 2 pork chops. So
hell yeah. I dig. That's a good list right there.
Diggy.
All right, moving into this week's topics for all of us of video games and numbing strategies. Who wants to kick off video games?
I think as the biggest gamer in this group, Olivia, I think it's you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I am a huge gamer, unbeknownst to most of you. Just kidding. That is a lie. You will quickly see through my games that I am a poser. So my first is Mario Kart, baby. Now, there's many different versions. Okay. It's not 8. Maybe it is 8. It's whatever like newer one is like on the Switch.
That's
and
8.
The levels, okay. The levels are just dude, they're so fun. Oh. And then I think I unlocked every level you could unlock on our Wii when I was in like 6th or 7th grade. So me and Mario Kart, shut up. Me and Mario Kart go way back. I've always had a love for it. Whenever it's fun since I've been old enough to drink. You call it Cario Mart, and you just drink every time like you get hit by a shell, or you just like make up.
I've never heard
when
it called
to drink.
that.
Well, it's because you're drunk.
Dude,
so you call it Cario Mart, and it's
I think
so
that's the
fun.
best way to play Mario Kart.
It's so fun. You just make it a
a
drinking game. Like every time you get hit with a fucking shell or you slip on a fucking banana, which like if you still slip on a banana, like you're a fucking amateur, but whatever.
Hey, don't judge
anyway.
Do you do you have to finish your drink before the race is over, but you can't drink and drive?
Oh.
Ooh.
No,
so there's a few strategies.
But that sounds hilarious. No, we definitely drink and drive in Mario Kart, everybody. Clarification.
Yeah. Don't drink and drive in real life. It's not cool.
No, not cool at all. So, yeah, play Cario Mart if you're feeling lucky. Marcus.
So,
yeah.
I didn't really know what direction to go with this. If it was like greatest games of all time, like
It's your Mount Rushmore of.
Okay, yeah, that's
objective. Like
objective or subjective to me, because those are two very different lists.
I think it's subjective to you.
Well,
like I know I use it through my own lens, right? Like I might think a game is great. You might think it's
what are
garbage,
your favorite games to play?
Yeah. Oh, then this is the easiest list because there's basically only 4 games that I've ever really played, so it's perfect.
Yeah,
good.
I think I already know what your list is.
We're gonna start off with Counter-Strike. For those of you that don't know what it is, I don't know that. No, I think Unreal Tournament was kind of, well, I guess actually that's not true. Tetris and all that, they had big tournaments and stuff like that. But I want to say that Unreal Tournament and Counter-Strike were the 2 games that put esports like on the map as a serious thing that people could make a career out of. Not so much Unreal Tournament, much less than Counter-Strike, but Unreal Tournament came before Counter-Strike. So Unreal Tournament built like the foundation for Counter-Strike. But it's just it's a 5v5 competitive like team sport, and man, it just itches the competitive itch. It scratches the competitive itch.
So do you play what's on Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or you just play like
so
regular?
I started back in 2006 in Counter-Strike 1.6, and then
Jesus God.
And then they came out with Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Are you like the OG player of Counter-Strike then? Or
I am the OG. No, what's funny is the OG came out in like 2001. It was a Half-Life 1 mod.
Gotcha. Okay. I think I remember hearing something like that.
Yeah. And so then in like 2000, Half-Life is so like, if we're just going objective, like greatest games ever made, Half-Life is like the number 1 game on the list.
Because that's what put Valve on the map, right?
Yes. And it's like, I mean, shooter games before that was like Quake and Wolfenstein, so Wolfenstein was a 2D game in a 3D world, kind of, but it's presented as 2D still. And then Quake and the Unreal Tournament were like the first 3D, and then Half-Life just blew all of them out of the water. It's easily like the greatest game ever made. It's kind of in the sense, like you look at some other like sports, I don't know, what's his, Michael Jordan, like would he win against LeBron today? Like, who knows? But the point is, it was the greatest thing at the time, and it set in motion a whole lot of other great things that things just wouldn't be the same if it hadn't existed. But anyway,
so you say it's genre defining, and it's,
I wouldn't even say it's genre. It's like the entire, because genre would mean a type of game, whereas
it's a first-person shooter, right? So
yeah, but it's also a platformer. It's just video games in general. It's like the entire thing of video games. Like it revolutionized graphics and like all this kind of, it was just crazy storytelling and what you could do, like the scope of a video game. Anyway.
Nice.
So then Global Offensive happened, and then Counter-Strike 2 just came out a wee bit ago. I haven't played very much lately because I have other games now, but yeah, thousands of hours. And the reason I feel like I'm good at instructing and I'm good at debrief is because Counter-Strike, what you would have to do after you lose a game, if you cared about being good, all the games are automatically recorded, and you can just pull it down and you can rewatch it, and you watch back everything that you did and see what your mistakes were and where you played poorly, and you spend like more time debriefing than you do playing the game. And I played on I played on a team back in high school. So
Nerd alert.
yeah. Big
Took
time.
video
Big
game
time.
playing from like a recreational pastime, and like you took it to a whole nother level.
Oh yeah,
That's nice.
I played it like some kid in high school would have played football. Like it was
Okay.
well, actually more than that, because we played on a countrywide team, and it was called Cal. Cal was the organization, and then the league we were in was the Open League, and we made it into wasn't the Invite League, which is like you have to be like top 1% of teams in the world to make it to the Invite. It's the one right before that, and I forget what it was. So it's like we fought for a chance to get to the Invite, but we weren't good enough to make it to the Invite. So a lot of time spent playing this game.
That is pretty impressive.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, does that make it my turn then?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So impressive.
All right,
Are you not impressed?
Oh no, I'm super impressed. Just the scotch is starting to kick in a little bit, so it's like a
slowing
narrowed
down
focus. Okay, so with mine, I kind of have a lot of top favorites, but I think I don't even know if these are like ranked as like 1 through 4. They're all kind of equal, but I'm gonna say Command and Conquer 3.
That was a classic.
Classic.
Never heard of it.
Dude, it was great.
I'm Googling.
Go right
Which one
ahead.
was Red Alert?
Red Alert was before this one. I think that one.
That's like the first one I played.
Conquer was kind of the future. 3 was Tiberian Wars, so it was kind of the futuristic version. Think post-apocalyptic, whatever. I'm gonna butcher the actual facts here, but I remember it was just like I think I was living in Japan at the time, but I would play this game religiously. 3 versus 3. I did the online thing. I think it's the first game I actually delved into online competition. And I always grew up playing, I guess, first-person shooter. What is this, like a real-time strategy type game? But I don't know, for whatever reason, Command & Conquer 3 just kind of clicked it for me. So it worked on. I always played the same faction, always played the same strategy. It was like the thing I just was constant, right? But yeah, so to me, that's my top, I think. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have a long narrative like you did.
No.
I don't know the histories.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's probably healthier that you don't have all that.
You know what? Sure. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
All right. What's next, Olivia?
All right. My next trick. Now, Super Mario World. Again, sticking with the Nintendo theme here. Yeah, this is the one. So I was trying to figure out what this one was before the episode started. And I was like, guys, what's the fucking Game Boy game with Yoshi? And he's like, it's the one where you ride Yoshi. And I'm like, no. Actually, yes. It is the one where you hop on Yoshi's back. And yeah, I don't know, man. So I had a Game Boy Advance SP. And that's a little like square nugget, I guess, that you just flip it up and then it's like a square screen. And yeah, the amount of hours I spent trying to pass levels on Super Mario World is like absolutely insane. And like so before I had my phone, I used to have my Game Boy in my bed with me. And have you guys ever seen those memes that have come out where like it's like your parents walk into your room to like make sure you're sleeping and you like shove your Game Boy under your pillow, but the sound is still playing.
I was playing
and it's
Yoshi's
like, dude,
song.
I used to do that so many times, and my dad would be like, my dad would come in and rip it out from under my pillow, and I just keep pretending. I would just pretend like I'm sleeping. Or it'd be like during Mario Kart in the star music. And I'm just like pretending like I'm fucking
What? I like
asleep.
falling asleep to it. Leave me alone.
Yeah, it's background
And
music.
I would just
I'm not
pretend
playing,
I was
swear.
asleep. Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. So like that's just like core. Like my Game Boy is just core memory for me.
Nice.
Yeah, shout
I
out Nintendo.
I had a
Dude, I think that
normal.
yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, I had a normal Game Boy Advance, like the weird.
Yeah, like the big,
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you talking like
like
the
the
big
long
brick,
one.
the
yeah.
original Nintendo?
The long boy, the Game Boy
Yeah.
Advance.
Yeah.
And I got banned from ever playing. Well, my parents would never buy me one again because I was playing Mario World, and I
Mhm.
got so upset that
Yeah.
I basically broke it in half across my knee. I was like laying down on the couch and I died, and I don't remember what I yelled, but you just, need it.
That's bad, man.
And I
Damn,
like
dude.
it bent the shit out of it, and I think that's one of the first and like only times my mom like full on yelled at me. And then she took it
That's
away.
so
I think
good.
it still worked, but it was like kind of busted. Like the screen was all like weird colors, but she took it away and was like, "You're not allowed to play this anymore because you get way too upset." It's like,
Well, it's probably a good call. Yeah.
fuck you,
Yeah.
mom.
Dang.
Whoa.
Fuck you, mom.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, over to Marcus again.
Yeah.
We'll get the old school ones that happened a while ago, but also are the biggest amounts of that I've spent the time on. Next one is going to be World of Warcraft.
I was wondering if anybody was going to put this one down.
Oh
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing, actually, the reason I stopped playing Counter-Strike, was because of World of Warcraft.
All right, nerd alert. How long did you play? I'll tell you my number if you tell me yours.
Oh, I mean, I still played in Dragonflight. So, 15 years. So I started in Burning Crusade, season 1 of Burning Crusade. Played all of Burning Crusade, most of Wrath of the Lich King. Skipped over Mists of Pandaria, came back in WoD. At the end, played all of Legion. Skipped whatever came after Legion. Shadowlands?
Shadowlands, yeah.
Yeah, Shadowlands.
Warlords
I played
of
Warlords of Draenor was before Legion, and then I played like the second half of Shadowlands, and then I played most of Dragonflight, and I haven't played any of the new one. And
okay, I didn't even know they came out with a new extension.
And I probably have like 5,000 or 6,000 hours in WoW at least, if not more.
Yeah, I started in vanilla, like basically I think 3 months after it launched, and then I played all through the vanilla. I don't think I played Burning Crusades. Skipped that expansion. Came back.
The best one.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I came back during Wrath of the Lich King. Played for like another 2 years. I think the entire time my account was active because I'm horrible at canceling subscriptions.
Oof.
So yeah, I've played way too many hours. I don't know. What do you think about the new mechanics or how dumbed down it got?
I mean, it's basically one of the reasons I stopped playing. I was always just like in Counter-Strike. I was all into the player versus player stuff. I didn't really care about raiding and doing like I just wanted to do PvP arenas. And they kind of destroyed PvP. And that made all of my friends quit, which then it's not a game I enjoy playing on my own at all. And so I stopped playing because none of my friends were playing. And that's why, so like when I played Dragonflight, that was like, I don't know, what, 3 years ago or so. 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I stopped playing because none of my friends would play, and so then I was basically just stuck either doing nothing but raiding, which is just like, I don't know. I was in a raiding guild that was kind of hardcore, and they're like, you must arrive at every raid night with all this stuff, and it's like to accomplish that, you would have to put in like 20 or 30 hours of game time every week just to make sure that. And then they like, if you didn't do it, they'd be real dicks about it and tell you to like fuck off. And I was like, I'm not gonna be talked to this way, so go fuck yourself.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like a lot of that game went total. If you're not willing to be a career player, then fuck off type thing.
Yeah,
so that's kind of why I stopped playing too. It got way too easy. Like when you can go to level 1 to 100 in a weekend, it just kind of took away the spirit for me.
Yeah, well, it's easy in that sense, but then like if you want to play at any sort of serious level, it's so complicated because it came out in 2006, and it's 2005 every single expansion, every single year, every big patch adds something new and doesn't take anything away. So it's just like this compounding effect of new stuff on new stuff on new stuff. So if you've been playing since vanilla, the game is super boring. But if you're new to the game, it's so overwhelming. You have no idea what the hell's going on, and nobody is nice about it. Because all the people I've been playing for so long are like, this is so easy. This is the easiest game of all time. You're a moron. I don't want to play with you. Yeah. It's like, it's not simple. Like, you just have 15 years of knowledge because you've done nothing with your life.
All you do is play World of Warcraft all day.
You know everything about this game. Congratulations. Yeah. This person just started playing and is still clicking their abilities because they don't know any better. Like, be nice to them, but they can't do it. So, rant over.
True. Yeah, no kidding.
All right, your turn.
Nice. All right, cool. I think my next game, only because, like you said, I play this a lot. It's one that I put a lot of time in, but it's Satisfactory. I think I got this game, if I can spell it right, Satisfactory. There we go. Yeah, this game's great. Like, I think I started playing it when it was in early access. You couldn't do anything in the game, but I don't know if this stems from me working in factories, but being able to design things. It's just fun. So for the premise, people who don't know, Satisfactory is a game where you're drop landed onto a planet. Your whole job is to work for the company, in quotes, to save humanity by building factories, generating parts to send back up to space so that they can live, and then you can ultimately perish because you're disposable because you're a government worker. But no, like the complex. Yeah, what's that?
I said rip.
Yep. But no, I like it because freaking the complexity, like balancing everything. I was actually just playing this with my nephew. He just got into the game. I think he's 9. He's almost 10, right? So like walking him through it, and it's like being able to sit with all I've got is this little ore, and now I have to turn it into all these complicated or complex parts, and like figuring out how to balance everything and be efficient. I don't know. Yeah, it does kind of feel like work sometimes, but it's fun. We'll get why that works when we get down to numbing strategies, but
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's just super fun. Like, I think I've already logged 480 hours into this game, and it only went to full release like 5 months ago. So yeah, super fun.
Hell yeah.
So, quick backtrack here. I did my main character in Burning Crusade, at the end of Burning Crusade. So this is in 2011-ish.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
My main character had 142 days played, which is 3,408 hours. So I might have over 10,000 hours in WoW.
I'm close, man. Like, I think my total days played, I had to go through like 3 accounts because they kept getting stolen by Chinese hackers.
Mm-hmm.
but I think because in vanilla, I only got to level 43, but I think I was around 100 days played or 125. So yeah, definitely. That's all we would do. We'd get off work, and it was weird. It was almost like I don't know how addicting the game was or why it was so addicting, but it's like everybody that we worked with, we got everybody to play. So we'd
That's
get
what it
off
was.
work
It
at
was
like
friends.
we'd get off work at like 4 p.m. and then we'd all play until like midnight, and then we would wake up and go to work the next day. And the only thing that we ever talked about was World of Warcraft. Like it was probably pretty unhealthy, but whatever. I saved a lot of money doing that. So
yeah.
Hell
True.
yeah.
True. Anyway,
Yeah.
your turn.
All right.
yeah, like, what do you got? Take us down the Mario path.
I'm trying to decide right now. Ugh, because I have like a couple honorable mentions. All right.
Do we want to add honorable mentions at the end then? Do a little different?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Grand Theft Auto. Kind of out of left field.
which one?
Which one? Yeah, that matters.
The newest one.
5?
5?
Is 5?
The one with the
Yes,
you
I think-
switch between the characters.
Yes.
Yeah, great game.
Yeah,
great
GTA 5.
story.
Yeah.
Great game.
I don't know why I like GTA so much, but I do, and I think it's hilarious to play. And I just like driving around, fucking. Like the missions are kind of fun too, but it's also just fun to fuck around and drive all over the place.
I used to drive around and
Nice.
just try to drive like legally, like stop.
Seriously?
Yeah,
like I would
exactly.
like
Stop at the red
RP
lights and-
Try
role
not to
play
get
it.
pulled over by the cops. Yeah.
Yeah. I just go drive around town with the radio playing because it's the talk radio show is so funny in that game.
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah. So So here I'll go. GTA 5. I'm excited for GTA 6. I'm sure the rest of the world is as well, but I think it'll be pretty fun. I don't know.
The most expensive game ever made by like 6 times.
Wait, seriously? Even beyond like Star Citizen and
Yep, it's way above Star Citizen. Yep. So Star Citizen is number 2, and then number 3 is because Star Citizen is like 4 billion or something like that.
Yeah.
And then next number 3 is like 700 million.
That's crazy.
It's the jump is crazy, and it's crazy that GTA 6 was at like 6.8 billion, and they weren't even done with the game yet.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, there's also a chance that the game's going to be like $150.
I know.
Probably.
Whatever.
Or they need to sell like.
Do we know when it's getting released yet?
Let me see what Google has to say.
Sometime this year.
That's what I thought.
Oh, I thought it was this year.
I think it is.
Late
2025.
Late 2025.
Yeah. Oh, but that's only for console. So are they going to release this on PC as well?
Eventually. That's how 5 was as well. It released on console first, and then like 3 months later or something like that, it came out on Steam.
Jesus.
Oh, here's a fun fact. The reason it's taking so long is because they're going for realism. So they're claiming it's the capabilities of technology and the demand for realism increasing each year.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, I think it's gonna be fun, and I just like GTA. I just find it so entertaining. So yeah. All right, Marcus.
Cool.
I'll go. I'll say PUBG.
Okay.
Yeah, PUBG. It's kind of the game that, for those that don't know what it is, it's the game that kicked off the battle royale genre. So Fortnite, Warzone,
Mhm.
Pub. Oh, I spelled that backwards. PUBG. And PUBG itself is like a spin-off of It's a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off. We don't have to get into it, but yeah, it was like the most played game at one point, like in the history of the world, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Wow.
And then Counter-Strike passed it a couple of years ago. Like had the most concurrent players at once ever. And then everybody, they saw how this game blew up, and it was like by a really small studio. And it was just, yeah, it's that battle royale thing where the circle keeps getting closer and everybody has to fight each other.
Hell yeah.
And then it kicked off all the other battle royale things. And it's still, I would say it's the most relevant of all of them, all of the battle royale games. It's like the second most played game on Steam. Where the other ones are like very arcadey, and this one is very focused on, well, as close, they focus on realism in like the shooting mechanic. Like it's a very difficult game, but they've started to add more of the arcadey skins and like all of that stuff, microtransactions. But anyway, yeah, it's just, oh man, it's so much fun. I don't know if there's anyone who's listening who doesn't know what PUBG is and you were like a Battlefield enjoyer. It's like Battlefield, but actual open world, and way better and way more competitive. And oh my god, does it get your like hand shaking and adrenaline going?
Nice.
It's the fucking
Hell yeah.
dopest
Heck yeah,
dope.
dude. Very cool. All right. So I think my third choice, I'm kind of torn between two, right? So it's definitely an RPG, but I think I'm going to go back, and this is a little bit controversy for the people that played this game, but I'm going to say Final Fantasy VIII. Only because like I grew up like from probably like the youngest age, I've always played the Final Fantasy series. I think I've played every single game ever made, minus some of the newer ones. But 8 was the first one that jumped it into 3D as opposed to their isometric 2D. I don't know a better way to say it, but their 2D graphics. Story was outstanding. Never actually beat the game because out of any of the games I played, I don't think I ever beat any of them. But I put so many hours as a kid playing this on PlayStation. Yeah, it's definitely got to go up there.
Did you like 7?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I did. I like the remake better than I like the original.
I haven't played
What
the
they
remake.
did with the remake story, I've only played the first chapter, I guess you would say, because like they just released chapter 2. I'm going to put that in air quotes. But they had expanded upon the story, so I think Final Fantasy VII Remake is outstanding. Could probably take over Final Fantasy VIII, but for the nostalgic reasons, like 8 is just always going to be on there. So yeah, if you haven't played Final Fantasy VII Remake, definitely pick it up. It's worth it. That's all I got to say about that, really. So,
all right,
Hell
Lib,
yeah. I've never.
Oh, go ahead.
Huh?
Go
Oh, I
ahead.
was just gonna say, some of these games I've never heard of in my life, so I've been
really,
avidly googling. Oh yeah,
it
I'm
makes
also
sense
not
because
really
it
a
looks like
gamer.
you're a Nintendo kid and GTA kid, so
Yeah,
that makes sense.
100%.
Like I'm going back. Like Final
Yeah.
Fantasy VIII came out in like '98. Like this is an old game, so
Yeah,
it makes sense. We won't hold it against you.
I was born in 1998.
Oh god,
Rip. It's fine. It's fine.
cool story, bro.
Okay. Okay, so I'm between two for the last
I think I know which two
one.
they are.
Okay, guess.
Baldur's Gate and Fall Guys.
So Fall Guys actually not on my list at all.
Really?
What?
I'm not familiar with that game.
So
We
it's really
played
fun.
so much of it. Oh, but okay.
I know I think it's in my honorable mentions. I think I'm no matter which way I slice or dice it, I'm gonna have 2 honorable mentions. I'll limit it to 2. Um Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Baldur's Gate just because Baldur's Gate 3, sorry.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, it was like it's the first like story kind of type. Well, besides GTA, but it's like totally different. It's totally different.
Oh, 100%.
So I think it's and my best friend Caitlin really is the one that got me into it. She's like she really loved it. She was like, just fucking download it and we'll play together. And it was so funny, dude, her just like yelling at me. Because I don't play video games. So like
Yeah.
as you can tell by my list, I'm not really none of my games are that deep. And so she'd be like yelling at me, kill it, kill it. I'm like, I don't fucking know what I'm doing. Anyway, it was hilarious. And so I don't know, I just really liked playing it. And then my husband and I have this problem where like I don't have a gaming console or PC or anything, and so he has an Xbox, and so we have to share it, and he games a lot. So yeah, but eventually I keep saying we're gonna get him a PC, and Marcus sent me all the stuff to build him one. I just really need to do it for him. So yeah, eventually we'll
That
get a
thing
PC,
is
and then
out of date now, by the way. So don't
yeah,
buy those.
I'm sure it is.
There's a new one that came out that's pre-built. It's pretty cheap. That's not too bad. I could send you details if you want.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great. He plays Rocket League, so it doesn't have to be like too
Okay,
crazy or
got it.
anything.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um yeah, anywho, Baldur's Gate. It was really fun.
Right.
I haven't played it in a while.
Great choice.
My honorable mentions I think are gonna be Super Mario Bros. 3. Shout out.
Nice.
Great
Nice.
game. And Fall Guys. I'll put Fall Guys in there because we played so much of it, and it was so fun actually playing with everyone. Like it's a really fun game. I like games where you can play with your friends.
Yeah.
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 All right, Marcus.
So my like fourth spot. Well, I know what my answer is, but I struggled a little bit because there are a few games out there that are like, I already mentioned one, Half-Life, where it's just these games that build legacies and change the entire industry. So Baldur's Gate, I mean, is one of those. Yeah, I mean, what a game to stumble into as genre.
Yeah.
It definitely raised the bar because I played the original first and second, and it definitely did it right, but as a remake.
Yeah.
But just like if you try and go play some other RPG now, you're just gonna be like, this shit sucks compared to Baldur's Gate, because it's so defining. Like it's a moment in gaming history. Baldur's Gate is. So there's a few games like that for me, but my final one here is Path of Exile.
Okay.
Never heard of her.
First one or second one?
I'm gonna stick with the first one for now. It's because I have so much time in the game. I have thousands of hours in Path of Exile as well. Liv, have you ever heard of Diablo?
Yeah.
So a bit of the history.
That was the defining game of the genre, but
yeah. So Blizzard, the creators of World of Warcraft, made a new IP, a game called Diablo back in like the early 2000s, and then Diablo 2 happened, and then they started building Diablo 3 and a bunch of it's kind of like the start of when the gaming like big AAA, that's what they're called, like the big time companies that spend hundreds of millions of dollars on games. So Blizzard got really big, and like they stopped having gaming nerds as like the CEOs and like not necessarily CEOs, but like high up managers and the like lead game developers. They're just like money, money, money. We're just going to hire marketing experts for everything. And so they were just trying to make games really fast that brought in a lot of players that would spend a lot of money on bullshit. And so a lot of most of the developers that made Diablo 2 that then started to make Diablo 3 left. They all quit and started their own studio called Grinding Gear Games, and then they built Path of Exile. So Path of Exile is essentially the true follow-on to Diablo 2.
Okay.
Diablo 2 2. And then they took it way further, and they started developing in like 2012, and it came out in, I don't know, 2014 or 15 or something. And they've been building it and continually updating it since. And it's nothing like Diablo 2 at this point, but I've just spent hundreds and thousands of hours in Path of Exile 2. It's just a great. Path of Exile is my when I just want to chill and not play competitive games against other human beings. I play Path of Exile. I just put on some like beats and just go kill thousands of monsters.
Heck yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it was a little. I'm gonna date myself a little bit, but the first game that I ever played was Diablo.
Yeah. It was in the top 5 probably first games that I played.
Nice.
That's not true. Games that I like understood what was going on and was like, this is dope. Not just like I'm 6 years old and I'm mashing buttons on NES Olympics. That makes sense.
No, it does. I didn't start playing video games until I was like 12 or 13. So.
My honorable mentions, one that I have not heard the name of this game in a long time. Well, one I already said one of them was Half-Life. Second one is called Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Not the MMO. Not the MMO, which was okay, but not that good. But the original freaking single player game.
Nice.
Incredible.
How did you feel about Knights of the Republic 2?
I actually didn't play it.
Okay.
The first one was just so good. I didn't want to play the follow-on in case it sucked to like spoil it. Because I played KOTOR.
Yeah.
For the first time probably like 6 or 7 years ago. So I was already like in my late 20s and I was just blown away. Because I don't like single player games in general. Like they don't do anything for me. I get so bored.
Gotcha.
That was like the first one where I couldn't stop thinking. Like every day it was just like I can't wait to get home to finish, like to see what's going to happen next. And then there's Mass Effect 2, which is made by the same people.
Sorry.
Incredible.
Okay.
The burp, I mean, was incredible.
Thank you.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing.
Thank you to my grapefruit sparkling water.
Yeah.
Nice. Those are two great games, dude.
Oh, there's so many more. Baldur's Gate deserves a shout out just for being incredible.
Oh, it totally does.
Civilization.
I feel like this category needs more than 12 choices. There's so many great games that have come out over the last 20 years that you can't dial it down to just 20 titles. All right, you got anything else, Marcus?
Nope, but I was able to boil mine down to 4, so
mine's a contentious 4. Like there's too many. I need 12. All right, so mine's
fourth
one
pretty solid.
I'm actually going to go only because this category needs a mention, but it's the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
I've heard of that.
Dude, great game. I know
Not
I played
Skyrim.
3. No, I actually liked Oblivion better than Skyrim. Because let me spell it right. You could do more. So each game that they come out with, they take content out. Like the game gets smaller, the world size gets smaller, and they kind of concentrate. So I liked Skyrim. I still play it to this day, but Oblivion just had more stuff to do. So more subclasses, more guilds to join, like more classes, more quests. So I don't know. I think it's just that little OG mentality, right? Like it's the one I really got into with Elder Scrolls. So that'll always be the best one for me.
See, that's all the shit I hate in games, and Oblivion pissed me off so much because it's like the quest would be like, walk east and you'll find a hut. And you're like, walk east is going to take me 3 days, and like southeast, northeast, slightly east, like that east is giant. What do you mean walk east and find a hut? There's like 600 huts.
Dude, the journey is half the adventure. Or whatever that phrase is, right? Getting there's half the fun. Well, did you ever play Morrowind? Because it was 10 times worse. Like that world was so large.
I played.
That one was way worse.
I played probably about 5 or 6 hours of Oblivion, and then I alt F4'd and uninstalled the game and was like, "Fuck this!" And then
you missed out, dude.
And then I bought Skyrim, and I probably put like 20 hours into it. And I was really like, I was just dead bored. I just don't enjoy that kind of game. It's not. It's not that there's anything wrong with the game. It's just not my vibe. I totally respect what they're doing.
No, I totally get it. Like that's fair.
I hadn't saved in a while, and I was like on a horse riding up a mountain, and I like glitched on a rock and then fell through the map and died, and it sent me back like 7 or 8 hours, and I was like, nope, Alt F4, and I uninstalled the game, and I haven't played it since. It's like I just can't be bothered to play.
I've probably put in like 300 hours into Oblivion and 500 hours into Skyrim over the years.
How?
Like, I want them to finally release Elder Scrolls 6. Like it's been 10 years. We've been waiting for the next one. Like maybe by the time I turn 50, I'll be able to play it. But
you would love Kingdom Come Deliverance too.
I've played Kingdom Come Deliverance. I haven't played the second one.
Well, if you like the first one, you probably like the second one.
Okay. Yeah, if you can't tell, most of my genre of choice is RPGs, which brings me to my honorable mentions is going to be Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader and Pathfinder Kingmaker. Both made by the same developer, but they kind of stuck true. Like you guys know, I play D&D, DM every once in a while. They stuck true to the tabletop rules. So the story and everything they built into that, it's like a masterpiece. So if you're looking for something, and it's almost along the it's on the same quality as Baldur's Gate 3. So if you liked Baldur's Gate 3,
it's like the same mechanics too, right?
It's the same exact mechanics. Like it's basically you're playing a tabletop game. It goes, what do we call that? Like old school RPG. Like along the same lines as like Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights and what was the other one, Icewind Dale. So it sticks to like the old school mechanics of like what I grew up with in the 90s, and they ported over to real like common times, so I guess modern times. So like graphics are 10 times better. Like the stories are, dude, they're outstanding. Like everything's voice acted. Like you feel like you're actually in the game.
Yeah,
it's freaking awesome.
That's pretty cool. I'll have to check it out.
Should. I'll send you a link for a demo copy.
Hell yeah.
Quotes. Yeah. But yeah, those are my video games of choice.
Hell yeah.
Well,
I think it's I think it's time to move into the old numbing strategies. Since I started video games, Marcus or Tom, who wants to start this one?
Dude, I'll
Okay.
start this one. Not to
Well,
be forward, but unless you
Hell
want to
yeah.
go first, Marcus.
Oh no, that's fine. I just wanted to
Okay.
kind of define what it is. So I got it pulled
Oh,
up
sure.
on the Google for the listeners. So
Okay.
what numbing strategies are. So we're reading this book in our book club called Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, and it's kind of about shame and vulnerability. And the author, she has these. It's a whole big chapter. Take whatever. It's like 70. It's 70 pages. It's huge. She taught and she covers these things called numbing strategies, which is, I'll pull it up on the, so if you're watching, you can read along. So Brene Brown's concept of numbing refers to the practice of avoiding vulnerability and emotions, which she argues leads to a diminished capacity for joy, connection, and overall well-being, as you can't selectively numb emotions. So it's just you can use it as a defense mechanism, or like you just don't want to deal with whatever is going on. So you find things to do. So that's what we're going to cover is what are the things that we do to numb whatever flavor of pain, including, I think there's a lot of people in the world that have something probably happened 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and they started numbing that pain back then, that then has now turned into a hobby, essentially.
Right.
It's something that they do today that they don't even know that they're numbing. That like this thing that they do now started because they were numbing some pain or some shit that was going on back in the day of their life when it was going on. So I thought it was a cool topic to do because hopefully people think about some of their numbing strategies, because once you realize what your numbing strategies are, you might, because a lot of times when you're feeling shame or vulnerability or not feeling vulnerable or just bad about things, you don't even realize it. But if you know your numbing strategies, you might go, wait, hold on. Why am I numbing right now? And then you actually like leads you down a path of exploring what has happened, and hopefully it's useful. So as we do this one, listeners, think of your numbing strategies. Yeah, maybe you'll agree with some of ours and just steal them for yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah,
or don't.
or don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Find more healthier outlets.
Use ours to recognize your numbing strategies.
Exactly.
All right, over to you, Tom.
All right, cool. So I think the biggest numbing strategy that I have, right? Because after I've been alive almost 41 years, lots of stress, trauma, shame, all of that, right? I think the number one thing I do to cope is I work way too much. I know, Marcus, you kind of joked about this because I missed that session through our book club. You were going to ask, like, do I work as a coping strategy for shame and stress and numbing? And the answer is 100% yes, dude. Like, I found that while I'm working, my mind's not thinking, or I'm focused on the task at hand, which means I can ignore whatever happened throughout the day, the week, old memories that drum up. So yeah, I know for me, I don't know, and maybe it's healthy, maybe it's not, but definitely a workaholic.
Yeah, I think it's a common one. I think it's a
100%.
common one, especially in like men. I think because I don't know. I feel like men are told that men's emotions are dangerous and men can't get angry and Olivia, you may have said this at some point in your life. You may have told a man or two to show their emotions, but then every time a man shows his emotions, it's like, no, you did it wrong. And so I think we just are like, fuck it, I'm not going to show my emotions. So what do you do instead? You have to have an outlet. And I think a lot of dudes just end up working. Whether it's like career working or working around the house, going into the garage and working on stuff, or go do lawn work, lawn care. What?
Yeah.
Wait.
It's like in a way of like
Yard work?
/isolation. Like yard work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like whatever. Go work on a car. Go play golf. Whatever.
Something to stay busy. Yeah,
Yeah.
busy work. Like, you know what? I'm actually class for that as busy work.
Yeah.
It's probably more
Yeah.
accurate, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just happens for me. My busy work is actual work. But,
Yeah. For kind of along the same vein, my first one is she talks about this a little bit in the book. And it's like it's called like crazy busy. And so I put crazy busy on my list. Kind of like the busy work thing, like I will find like anything to do to like distract myself. So crazy busy / like distractions, I guess is what I'll put. I think it's really easy. Like I said, kind of along the same vein of like like diving into your work, like diving into distractions, kind of like what Marcus just talked about, like doing shit around the house.
Yeah.
Or making up like a to-do list of shit that I've been like putting off. Because I feel like, well, I'll get into it later, but I feel like sometimes I'm either like one way or the other. Like I'm either trying to like drown it out by distracting myself or being crazy busy, or I'm like procrastinating everything that I have to do. But I'll talk about that a little bit more. Don't want to spoil it, but yeah, kind of along the same vein. Like you're just getting my brain to like focus, like forcing my brain basically to focus on other things.
Yeah. Does anybody know somebody who stress cleans? That's a numbing strategy.
I know that's not me.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's
It
not
just
a problem
depends.
I have.
Like
I wish I did.
Sometimes
yeah.
sometimes Eddie and I will have like a slight like tiff, which like it really doesn't happen that often. But if it does, I just like for some reason I'm like fuck it, and I just start cleaning, and I don't know why. Maybe it's being crazy busy, like getting my brain off of you know the little like slight disagreement we had, and I'm like oh, and then I just start cleaning the house, and I'm like well. That was actually very productive. However, I'm not facing.
Yeah, and I don't feel like I've been productive. No, I know how you feel.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, Marcus.
Which one do I want to do first here? So I thought I'm gonna lump these into one. So I do both. Like I get antisocial and I'll go pro-social. Like
Okay.
I'll go both. Like it kind of depends on. I don't know. I took like a 2-hour walk with the dog today, and I was trying to work through this one, and I don't have an answer yet. But like as to why sometimes I get antisocial and why sometimes I get more social.
I want to hang out with people. Yeah.
I mean,
like
I kind of see what you're saying. I do somewhat of the same thing. Like sometimes when I'm going through something, I don't want to be alone. I'm more pro-social. Or if it's something else, I'll just be like, nope. Or the shame's so heavy or whatever. I'm like, no, I can't be around anybody, because you need to kind of isolate to either think about. And normally what happens to me is like I'll anti-social and then I'll isolate, and then all I do is dwell about the thing. I don't know whether that's trying to work through it or whatever, like whether it's healthy or not. So I don't know. I kind of get what you're saying. Like I think it depends on the trigger.
Yeah, maybe. But then I also just have like phases in life where like I'm just way more self-focused. So like I isolate because there's just like stuff that I'm really enjoying that I'm doing by myself.
Okay.
And like someone will ask me to hang out, and I'll be like, no, I'm working on this thing, and that's like all like it's this like hyper focused phase that I get into, and I'm like, no, and then I'm in that for a month or two, and then I'm like, oh, I've been really antisocial. I need to be more social again, and then I'll like make an effort to hang out with people. But that's aside from the shame. Like I definitely have when something bad happens. I either get more anti or more pro social. Kind of just depends on like you said what the trigger is.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Hundo.
Nice. All right, my next one. And this one's kind of in the moment. Like if I do something that I'm like either ashamed of or embarrassed, I laugh or joke about it. And I guess it's a way, and it's a kind of a deflection method where I'm like, oh shit, I just did something that I shouldn't have, or now I'm embarrassed. Like and you guys probably hear me do it. I laugh, or I'll just make a joke, or I'll be awkward, like socially awkward about it. And I think that's kind of one of my strategies that I use or a subconscious thing that I do to numb either my embarrassment or my shame about it.
I feel like that's kind of healthy though. I
Depends
guess
on the situation. It depends on where I'm at the time, right? Like I can't turn it off. And so like I'll be in a serious conversation and I'll say something and I take too much of a lighter tone about it. And then that alone, like it snowballs, right? And then like I think I mentioned this in the session today, like I hyper, what's the word I'm looking for? I analyze like everything I do on like all the time, like subconsciously. And so like every little thing I do, I'll be like, well, was that the right thing? Was that the wrong thing? Why did I do that? Like, what was the reason that we did that? So like sometimes I'll do something and then I'll be hyper acutely aware of everyone around me. And then I'm wondering, oh crap, did I just create like a social faux pas? Yeah, it's a very exhausting situation.
Little sidetrack here. Why do you think you do that? Like, why do you think you analyze yourself? Like, what's your goal with analyzing yourself? Because I do the same thing. So, Jesus, shut up.
God, sorry. Sorry, y'all.
She was working in the yard all day. She's probably got allergies. Like,
I have bad allergies.
Don't shame her for that.
Yeah, you shut your fucking mouth over there, Olivia.
You shut up.
Dude, that's a great question. I don't know. I think it's because, and honestly, it's probably because of all of I don't want to use the word shame, but it's like all the stuff I've been through over the years and like all the bad situations and the bad relationships and all the hold on, I'm trying to think the way to say this. It's like accurate. Like, I don't know, man. I've been through a lot of stuff over the years, right? Like different situations, domestic abuse, like everything, right? So I think it's just me being hyper aware about what I've done, or like what I did, and maybe it's just my coping mechanism. And I don't think it's healthy. Like I probably don't need to do all of that, but it's just what I've done over the years to, I guess I think it's a defense mechanism, to be perfectly honest. Like it's just what I do to self-reflect, and a lot of it's not even healthy reflection because it gets me down into this forever spiral of whatever, and then I just have to literally try to shut my brain off so it'll stop.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just
but you said you do it too. Like, what do you think it is?
Yeah, so mine comes from this. I don't know where this comes from. I don't know if it's trauma or if it's just like my mom instilled really high morals into me or like what, but I am like obsessed with trying to do the right thing. Like I will blow up my life in an attempt to do the right, like to do a slightly right thing by somebody else. I will put myself in a disadvantageous position. Because
I kind of do the same
thing. Because to me that's just the right thing. So then when because I do that, and then if something doesn't go right, I spend, which is just a part of life, things just don't go right, and so then I end up spending a lot of time thinking about what I did, every action I took, like what went wrong. Was it something that I did? Blah, 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 blah.
So when you, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but it kind of brought up a question. So when you try to do that right thing, because I do the same thing, do you normally feel good about it afterwards or even shittier? Because I normally just feel shittier about it because it's making me more stressed, even though I know I did the right thing.
No, I mean, maybe that's one of the reasons why I do it is because if I like screw something up for somebody else, I'll feel bad about it towards them. But because I know that I tried to do the right thing, it's almost, and I'm just thinking of this now because no one's ever asked me that before, is that maybe it's just a way to give myself an out in a sense, but that doesn't mean that I don't do the reflection on it. I do a ridiculous amount of reflection on things.
Sure.
But maybe that's just like my way of dealing with things not working out, is that at least I know that I did my best, and the math says that I did the right thing, and it just, it's a game of numbers, and it didn't work out this time, type of thing. And so usually I don't really have regrets about things, but I spend a lot of time reflecting so that if I'm in a situation like that next time, I have a little memory bank of like, I've kind of been in a situation like this before, and here was the right thing to do. But sometimes I get like stun locked by analysis because there's a lot of situations where there's 5 or 6 right answers, and it's like, well, which one is the more right answer?
I know what you mean.
And so, I've been on a bit of a journey of self-development over the last few months, and really taken a focus on trying to do more right by myself. So like being more selfish, essentially, which feels weird because I always already feel like a selfish person in life. And so now I'm in this, like, I get into these conundrums where I'm like, well, I know what the right choice for me is, but then there's this other right choice for the other person. And like,
how is this going to affect the other person? So do you find that and I only ask this because I do this, do you find that you usually put other people's intentions and betterment above your own?
Previously, yes. Now I just talk to people about it. And what I've found is that, I haven't ran across anybody yet that doesn't understand and isn't cool about it.
Okay. I need to get to that point, I think.
Yeah. So it's just been like hey, here's the thing that's going on for me, and blah 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 blah. And then it kind of is like an okay conversation, and you're like, oh yeah, well, it kind of actually worked out way better. But I've been doing some like reflection on self-worth, and I feel like actually now that, and I just put these dots together, so I don't know what the validity of this is. I'll have to reflect on it some more. But just to say it out loud, maybe it's like a self-worth thing that I was putting other people's, like I was finding my self-worth in other people's appreciation. So I was doing things for them because then I would feel worthy. And I think that's correct.
That resonates, yeah.
Because the way that I grew up was like, I was very involved in helping around the house, and my mom was a super positive person and would always just be like so thankful for like me being helpful and whatnot, but or like not causing trouble and like doing the right thing. So I think I just like found my worth in doing the right thing. So in trying to do the right thing, I'm just fulfilling self-worth rather than like having self-worth. So like it's a good deed for a bad reason. And I think that's been disguised, like that's like a fault that I have that's been disguised by goodness for 34 years, and I'm kind of starting to unravel it now. Or maybe I'm wrong, and but I
mean,
think
it makes
I'm right.
sense, right? I mean, mine's not exactly like that, but it's similar. Like my dad, like growing up, right? So I had me, my mom, my twin brother, and I. Like I was always expected to be the responsible one, even though my brother's the exact same age as me. So it's like I was always the responsible one. To the point, I think we came back. We were both in the military. He came back on leave. I think it was Christmas. And my dad looks at me. He's like, "All right, you guys are going to go out tonight. Make sure you take care of your brother." And I think that's when I had the realization. I'm like, dude, like, why? like, why is it my responsibility to take care of a grown ass dude? Right? We're both 21. And then I think, although I think that's still stuck, right? Like, I feel like it's my responsibility to be the responsible one. So, like, no matter what we're doing. So, like, when I don't do that, I don't know if I feel guilty about it or what, but I think that what stems me down to coming back to be, I have to be the responsible. So I guess a lot of that's into what you.
I feel that too. And you know, the weird part for me is there's a lot of in this journey, like that kind of thing, where I don't mind that about myself. Like I think that's a good thing. But now I feel like I can manage it better because it's for a better reason than self-worth. So like I'm trying not to lose some of the positive aspects of it while also confronting it directly. Like, you know, I feel like some people
that's a good point.
Might swing so hard in the other direction that they completely change as a person and then like become cold and not helpful. Or maybe they don't. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm working very hard to not do
phases.
that.
Like I think I went through that phase in my 20s and early 30s because it'll go into my next numbing strategy. But we're still waiting on yours.
Yeah, sorry, that was a big tangent. Liv, it's your turn.
Sorry.
Anything to say? We just well, thanks for coming to the TED Talk.
Yeah, this is good conversation. Okay. I think for my next one, I'm gonna go with doom scrolling. AKA just for me, it's like Instagram Reels, TikTok, Facebook videos, like it's just like social media essentially. And I think it's like a way to just avoid. But I think the lines get kind of blurred, which just probably isn't super healthy. Between like avoiding doing stuff, but then also like I kind of use social media as like a decompression tool from the day. So it's kind of this like double-edged sword where like I'll say it's because I'm like decompressing, but really I'm just like avoiding like my feelings and thoughts or something that happened, and I just start scrolling because it's just like a mindless thing to do. I also like will play Candy Crush, so I'm gonna say doom scroll / Candy Crush. Just because those are just like for me, those are like probably like the number one thing I'll just go do. Like I'll just go sit down and just scroll.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
But
Like,
I think oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say I caught myself doing that Friday. Like we were supposed to go meet for that going away party, and I was just I don't know what was going on that day. I was just in a mood, and I sat down on my desk and I doom scrolled through Instagram for 15 minutes, like till I realized I was late to go to the party. So yeah, totally a thing.
Yeah, and I think part of this too is that like I hate to say that I use social media as a crutch, but like you know when something like awkward will happen or like you have a weird interaction like out in public and you're just like, "Oh, what the fuck, man?" And then you're still like standing near this person. So like something you have shame about or something you just like it's really weird or like awkward, like I just get on my phone and start scrolling because it's like, fuck, dude, I just fucked that whole like interaction away. So then I'll just get on my phone and be like, whatever, let's try not to think about it. So
How about if you're ever like waiting for Eddie or something and you're just like standing out in public and rather than being comfortable, just standing there
on
looking
your
around, you like,
yeah,
or like
you're
at a party
"Oh."
or something, and you like
Yeah.
take your phone out and act like you're texting
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, I have to actually consciously avoid using my phone in public because it's become such a crutch.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm my ADD, whatever. Like I need something to do. Yeah, so I'll be at dinner or lunch with people, and then I'll have to like purposely stop myself from grabbing my phone to just do nothing. So
Yeah, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's such an important, I guess, one to bring up because I feel like we all do it. Like it especially just in this day and age of like social media and it just being this fucking black hole.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to just escape into TikTok videos or whatever.
100%.
So yeah, that's my second one.
Good one. That's a good one.
Doom
Mine.
scroll.
Doom
So-
scrolling.
My second one, I don't do this very often because I'm very aware of it. Why I'm aware of it, I don't know. I didn't like. I knew this about myself years ago before I ever read the book, and so I made sure that I always tackled it. But I feel like it's a common one. It's alcohol.
Okay.
A lot of people use alcohol to numb pain, and so I've said it on the podcast before. Whenever bad shit, when like things go sideways in my life, alcohol is the first thing that I kick out of my life, just to ensure that I'm not going to go down that path.
Yeah, it's actually really good advice.
That's very
Numbing.
healthy.
I
like
should have heard
say.
that. I wish I would have heard that like 30 years ago, 20 years ago.
yeah,
I got to do
quite
some mental math because I'm getting a little older, but yeah, like 20 years ago, I wish I would have heard that.
yeah, like literally, it's the first something bad happens, and it's just I'm not drinking for a month, like that. It's just to make sure.
Yeah, I'd have to say that when we take dry January off, man, I actually felt great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, if you've never
Yeah.
done it, folks, like take a month off alcohol if you're of age.
Yeah.
It's
Or
good.
I do
just,
it all
like-
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
like don't drink that much though.
I drink like
don't
maybe
either.
once a week, like one or two. Like it's pretty limited now.
I think
But there's
I'm.
been days. Oof. There was a time in my life it was like
Oh yeah. I think we've all
blackout
been
drunk
there.
every day for
Oh yeah,
7
I think
days
we've all
straight.
been there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, not
But
drinking makes you
I
feel good.
hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah,
I think
alcohol's
I'm down
definitely
to.
not the.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say alcohol's definitely not a great coping mechanism. I know a lot of people do, but I'm kind of the same way. Like if something happens, I'm like, yeah, I'm not drinking. Cause it'll just like, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. It just pushes it off. Which
It does.
so do all of these, but like that one especially.
It's just too easy. You just have to
Yeah,
sit
I
there
know.
and drink a tasty thing, and then you just don't
Yeah.
feel anything. Whereas
Yeah,
like
exactly.
busy work, at least you're being productive and useful.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not just destroying your body and your life.
Your liver.
Yeah.
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 Good.
All right. Sorry, Marcus. Go ahead.
I don't remember what I was gonna say. Tom, your turn.
Shit.
Okay, cool. So my third one, and I don't do this anymore, but this took up a big portion of my 20s and early 30s, so it's warranted a mention, but it's anger. I remember my number one coping mechanism for anything at the time was just to get angry about it. And it was almost the only emotion that I could feel or effectively feel for a long time. Probably until 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when I finally just, I don't know if I hit rock bottom or what the hell happened, but I started finding different angers. But I find it's really easy for a lot of people to just immediately go to anger because it's such an easy emotion to amplify. So
Yeah.
Also
yeah,
means you don't
anger.
have to take. It absolves you
Just-
of the responsibility of dealing with it. It's just
exactly. Yeah,
no,
'cause it
you
would always
pissed me
be
off.
the other person. Yeah, the other person's fault. It was their reason. I'm this way because
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
So
I'm entitled to
Yeah.
feel this way. Yeah.
Yep.
And then you don't actually ever reflect on what you're doing because you're just lying to yourself about how you have the right to be angry about it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
It's true.
That's funny you say that. I was just right before you put that on there. I put that on my list as well.
Did you? Did you? I didn't have it on my original list, but as we're talking about this, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, let's really get to the nut and bolts of
Yeah.
real numbing strategies. So like if I didn't put it, I'd be lying to myself. So
Yeah. My 3 and 4 are going to be tough because I added a few to my list. All right, Lip.
Yeah, my next one is gonna be oops.
Ooh.
Good old detachment. Uh I'm a very like people oriented, extroverted like person. And whenever I start to become like detached, like not really detached from other people, like it's never for a long period of time. But I can feel myself just like and I just kind of like go off onto my own island for a while. Um and don't like cuz one of the most important things I think that Brené Brown talks about in the book is talking about it. But to talk about it you have to like face it and say it out loud, and it's a difficult thing to do. And I feel like the easiest way to not do that is to detach myself um from those around me. Like I really this kind of happened more when I was like a little bit younger, I'd say, cuz ever since Eddie's been in my life, like I don't notice myself like detaching as much, but I'll still do it here and there where I just like pull myself away kind of. um but yeah, definitely like before I met Eddie, I would just like I don't know. I would just go off onto my own island and just like not face it. Not want to talk about it because I didn't want to face it.
yeah,
And so
almost
I
like
feel like
ignoring that
yeah,
exists.
yeah,
It would just go
detachment.
away.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If I don't talk about it and I don't say it out loud, is it real type thing? And to say it out loud, you're normally going to talk to the people you feel the most comfortable with, family, you know, stuff like that, significant other, spouse, friends, whatever, whoever whoever you talk to about like your shame about. And yeah, just like not saying it. So for me, because I am a people person, that is like detaching from the people I'm closest to for a little while until I finally get my shit together and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna talk about this.
Yeah. You know, I just had a
Yeah.
thought while you were talking. To get some, it's good to know these things, but I'm just curious for your 3 so far,
Yeah.
if you have any like what are you going to do? What are you going to do in the future if you find yourself doing these things? I know that's kind of on the spot, but I don't know if that question triggers anything in your brain.
Well, especially reading this book, it's just made me realize that like everybody has shame and shitty things happen to so many people. And like I guess because all of mine are like, well, that's what a numbing strategy is. It's just avoidance, essentially. Um, and so like I think because like I said, like my doom scrolling, Candy crushing, is also like my decompression from like work or the day most of the time. But like I clearly know the difference between like when I'm doing it to avoid something and when I'm doing it like for 20 minutes after I just got home from work and I just lay in my
Right.
bed and just like chill for a second. Like there's a clear distinction. And then like I mean, you consciously know when you're making like these decisions or when you're doing these things, I feel like, cuz like a numbing strategy to me is something that's like deliberate. Like I'm doing this to avoid this.
Yeah.
Um and so I think like especially talking about these numbing strategies like out loud and me having to sit down and make a list, like the most important thing, right, that I just kind of like touched on is just like talking about it. And so like I'm very fortunate to have Eddie, like, you know, my best friend, also my husband. And so going to him or talking things through instead of doing these things, I think is something I need to start doing in the future.
Mm.
So I
So
think like if I have the self recognition of like, okay, I'm starting to do these things, like just getting it out, just talking about it, or if it's something that like I work through on my own, then even if I like journal it out or something or write it out, like you're still putting your thoughts down. It's a form of an outlet, I guess.
Yeah.
so the reason I ask is actually kind of perfect because you kind of said it. Well, you said a part of it. You said that it's kind of obvious when you're doing it for just to
Yeah,
chill
avoidance.
versus numbing, and
Yeah.
I actually kind of disagree.
Really?
I
Really?
don't think it's obvious, and I think that's kind of it when I've talked the intro of like what numbing strategies are, or it's like, okay, you numb by being crazy busy and having a bunch of little house projects, and so like maybe whatever, something bad, you went through a divorce, so you just made yourself crazy busy, and now it's 20 years later and you're just the crazy busy person all the time and you're super stressed out and unhappy, and you're completely unaware that all of this started
Mm,
because of it, and now you're still doing it, and yes, it's at least somewhat productive, but you're not happy. And if you just like at this, it's you've been doing it for so long that you don't even recognize that like this is my numbing strategy,
Yeah.
and I'm still numbing it years later. It's just who I am. Like it becomes a part of your personality if you're not like keenly aware.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe your mental health is good enough right now that
right.
you do
Yeah, and
that you can tell. But I think there's a lot of people that can't tell or don't know
Yeah.
about these things, so they
that's
just
true.
do them.
Well, I can say that there was like, it wasn't until recently that I've been able to actually identify when I'm numbing or when I'm not. Like, dude, like seriously, it was within the last 4 years when I actually started self analyzing my own behavior. And yeah, it was exactly what Marcus said. Like, why am I angry? I have no idea. Like, why do I work so much? I have no idea. Like, maybe deep down inside,
Yeah.
I kind of have an idea, but I wasn't willing to dig into it. If you know what I mean, I didn't want to open that Pandora's box. So I think a lot of it's a stage of recovery, if you will, or a stage of healing. Like when you get to the point where you can identify it, then you know you're working in the right direction. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but ultimately, we should be getting to the point where we can identify. Oh crap! Like, why have I been sitting on Instagram for the last 3 hours? Like, is this normal or do I have something going on?
Is there something going on?
Right.
And I think it's important to identify what they are when you're healthy and what to do about it when you're healthy. Because if you start, if something bad happens and then you start trying to deal with it, you're not yourself. And it's
Yeah.
so difficult to try and figure out up from down when your fucking life is a tornado.
Yeah, I think a lot of that depends on what kind of support structure you have as well. Like, because I'm going to tell you, like,
True.
alone, you'll
True.
never figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, self-proclaimed, right? If you've just yourself, you'll never figure it out. when you
or
finally
you'll
open
spend
up
your
and
whole
start,
life trying to figure it out
yeah,
when
you
you
need
don't
that
need
second
to.
opinion, or I guess what Brene Brown says, that validation of someone else going
Mhm.
through it with you. Talk about your shame, talk about it
Yeah.
to release its hold. I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
not the
you
greatest way
can
to say
like
it, but
never be sure until you tell. So you'll always just
Yeah.
you'll just have the same conversation with yourself and the same doubt with yourself over and over and over again until you get validation. So that
Yeah, and
doesn't
that's
clear
why,
up.
like, I think like the point that I'm at in life, like I think I'm like my mental state is like pretty healthy, and
Yeah.
I think I can make the clear distinction between when I'm like doing stuff like the crazy busy, like doing chores like that I need to do around the house versus like cleaning because I like am avoiding something or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the example, but like I think at least where I'm at right now is like I can make the distinction between like yeah, I think I can make that distinction.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Your turn.
All right. I wrote down a few new ones. Which ones do? I'll do social media. Just in general, I use social media as like that's kind of the doom scrolling thing. So if you're listening to this and you're one of the people that got 1 billion reels from me every single day on Instagram and you haven't in a while, that's because I recognize
That's
this.
me.
Yeah, you're one of them. You've gotten a lot less of these.
Yeah.
Just
I'm like, what's going on?
yeah, I was spending way too much time, and that's really, I was just like, rather than being productive and like
Yeah.
facing my feelings, I was just using social media, and so I basically told myself no more than like 10 minutes a day, and really it's been like less than. I go on Instagram like maybe for like 5 minutes every 3 or 4 days. When I finally feel bad enough, when I have like all these notifications of reels and I'm like, oh, I've been ignoring these for like, I have like 100 to watch.
Yeah.
And I have to binge all of them. And I'm like, okay, that's enough for now.
Exactly.
So social media is on
Yeah.
timeout.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
something I never got into with social media. Like everyone had as a big craze. Like I used
Don't
it to
do
keep
it.
up. Yeah, dude, I used it to keep up on what my friends and family are doing. But for the most part, I'm like a ghost scroller. Like I might pipe
Yeah.
in something here
Yeah.
and there and say,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
look, I'm kind of still alive, or a random happy birthday. But yeah, I was never attached to social media.
Yeah, I'm not attached
that's
in that
good.
sense. Like I don't even like really scroll my like when I'm on Instagram. Like I don't scroll my feed. I just like open the first
I do.
reel
Yeah,
and then I just
likewise.
look at reels.
Yeah.
I don't post really anything. Logan and I are trying to change that. We're both trying to start posting photos again, but I don't know if I care enough.
Yeah, I think the only thing I used Instagram for was to post photos that I've taken of like photography, like landscapes and stuff.
Yeah.
But
See, I told you you're artistic.
I know I was
Creative.
actually, it's funny you say that. Like that's what I've been thinking about for 2 days, or whenever we talked about it, right? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
book club.
maybe I am. Like I think it was book club. I'm like,
You're
maybe I
totally
am
creative.
artistic. I just think about it in different ways. I'm more artistic than creative. It's like I know when I think creativity, I think it's something that I can come up with something unique. No, like ask me to sit down and write a story. Yeah, I'm gonna pull my hair out before I get it done. But ask me to like draw something or paint something, then it's a totally different story.
Yeah.
But
Fair enough.
all right, my last choice. This one's kind of hard. This one's gotten kind of serious. I mean, not in a bad way, but I think I had written down like I know when I was a kid. I know I'm gonna put this one down anyway. Like I remember when I was a kid, I used to just listen to music for
Like,
hours.
yeah.
and it wouldn't even be the music itself. Like I remember I'd have this technique where I would try to pick out one instrument, and then I would just focus on that instrument during the entire song, and I would listen to the same song on repeat over and over and over again. And maybe I was trying to avoid whatever was going on at the time, but I'm gonna say listen to music.
I think that's a popular outlet.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Like when I've been listening to a chapter of Brene Brown, I'm like, nope, this is heavy. I'll immediately just go back to music.
Yeah. You're
But,
like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
yeah. No, dude, she's got some heavy topics. Like, I'm not gonna
I
lie.
know, man.
Like, she got me digging into my deepest, darkest
The
corners of
inner
my
soul.
yeah. But yeah, listen to music.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys listen or read chapter 6 yet?
I did. I'm on
No.
chapter 7. 6 was good. Like, I like it. It's
Okay.
kind of
Excited.
And I kind of had to stop myself at book club because a lot of chapter 5 is a precursor to chapter 6 about the ways that you create your armor, which kind of numbs in. They're all numbing strategies, right? It's like, what do you do
Yeah.
to like
Tara.
prevent yourself from being hurt in quotes?
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm excited to read it again.
You haven't read it yet?
Well,
I need to read it.
Yeah, I've read the whole book. I forgot what chapter 6 is about. Tara texted me in all caps, I can't wait to talk about chapter 6 or something like that. Like, I have so much shit to say about chapter 6. So
heck yeah.
Next book club is going to be Tara's TED Talk.
Yeah.
Good.
No, it's a good one. It's a real good one. All right,
Yeah,
Liv, what do you got for your fourth one?
My last one, kind of like lighthearted, but also, I don't know, definitely a strategy. Shopping.
Nice.
Oh, didn't type.
Online or
shop therapy?
Both, man.
Therapy.
Retail.
Nice.
Therapy.
Shop therapy, yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. Something will happen and I'll be like, screw it. I'm going to TJ Maxx. Bye.
You know,
and then I just walk around the store and I'm like, wow, look at all this crap I don't need. And then I still buy shit. So yeah, or online shopping. Just go on Amazon.
Oh, Amazon. Holy crap, man. Yep.
Yeah.
Why did
What
you
are
buy
today's
that thing?
deals?
I have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll binge shop on Amazon like crazy.
Yeah, same. What's up? I'm on our Amazon right now. Hey Eddie, what's up with all these fanny packs in Amazon? There's like tactical
he's trying to arouse
fanny
you.
packs. It's working.
He's gonna wear nothing but the fanny pack around the house.
Whoa.
That's
I'm
tactical.
Down. Anyway.
Yeah. New kink unlocked.
So funny. Yeah. And then there's
the
just
modern
like
Tarzan.
Shit. Just random shit we needed around the house. But yeah, that's retail therapy.
And a lot of times I'll go window shopping too. Like I'm feeling down or whatever, I'll just go to Best Buy. Like why? No reason. Walk around, look at the next best thing that I can't buy because I don't need it. But
yeah,
I totally get what you're saying. Damn, now you're unlocking all these other numbing strategies that I used to do that I never actually thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just say, I've never done this, but I know other people have. Like, I don't know how common it is, but a very well-known numbing strategy is people like hurting themselves, like cutting themselves or whatever other shit.
My niece, yeah, it happens. That's a good mention.
Yeah, I just wanted to say because I mean that's the kind of level that this stuff can get to, and none of us, have had
self-harm. It's been, I feel like it's gotten more of an issue over the last 2 or 3 years in society with self-harm, or maybe we're all just more aware of it now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids that I know that'll just be like, and my niece is one of them. She's like, yeah, if something goes wrong, what does she do? Go straight to cut herself.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, yeah.
It is a release of some sort,
right? Like, luckily, it wasn't anything fatal or bad, but still, it is something worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Right.
My last one, man. Between two, so busy work is also on my list. I tend to start a lot of projects.
Yeah.
And just like make myself busy. As in, the last 3 months I've started a lot of projects.
Dude, I do the same thing. I'm notorious for starting something, but I never finish anything I start.
Yeah.
Like,
but since you guys have some stuff like, like busy work that can be kind of positive, like I'm gonna put a kind of positive one in here too, and that's working out.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people use that as a numbing strategy, and that is a healthy one.
100%.
Yeah. And my numbing for it is a 1. Yeah, it just, it does get the negative vibes out, gets the nagging energy out that, hits you at 9:30 when you go to lay down, or 12:30 if you're a degenerate. It helps to take away a little bit of the bite of the voice in your head. Like you just don't have energy for it. But I think the other thing that it gives you, which I think the busy work is kind of the same thing, it can be, is that you have something positive that you're like in control of and you can work towards. So like you give yourself something positive to focus on.
Yeah.
So it's
an outlet for your energy. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's both. It helps, day to day, gives you something to focus on, gives you a small goal to achieve every single day, but it is still a numbing strategy because you're having to do that to not just like sit there in pain. Like, so you're having to numb your pain by doing something else. So it is still a numbing thing, but I don't necessarily think it's negative.
It's on the upper end of a good numbing strategy. Yeah.
Yeah.
These don't necessarily have to be bad numbing strategies,
Right. Yeah.
So
busy work.
There are good ones as well.
I think what really any of this stuff that makes it bad is if you don't recognize that the reason you're doing it.
Yes.
Because that will lead to, yes, it might not be bad today or tomorrow or 3 days from now, 2 months from now. But again, you get 10 years down the road and that's just your personality now and it's stressing you out and you don't understand why you're having anxiety about yard work. Well, it's because yard work was your numbing strategy and you're feeling empty without it. So like, as long as you know why you're doing it, if you have bad shit happen, you should definitely have some small positive goals to work towards every single day, even if it is numbing.
Great words. Yeah.
All right, that wraps it up.
Nice.
Yeah. That wraps up this section. Next we're gonna go to Tom to tell us the next guest topic for next week. So what do you got?
All right, so for next topic, I want to know what their go-to adult beverage is. Go to a new bar, go to a new place, right? Out for the night. What is your go-to drink?
Yeah, and I think this is a great one. Because Marcus and I, we've done this one.
Have you?
And I think it was on an episode where it was just Marcus and I. So I'm really excited to hear other people's beverages. So that is a great choice. And yeah, I like it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's so fun. I was just about to say the exact same thing, Tom, in the very exact same tone.
For what? Very cool. I know.
Very
cool. I copy
very
people.
cool.
I do the same thing to Flair. He'll ask me something. He's like, "It was sweet," or whatever he says for his. What's his catchphrase for like everything?
That's embarrassing.
I don't remember. Oh, there's that one. But
Marcus
like, it was sick, right? It was like, oh, it was sick. Sorry, I emulate, not for negativity.
So who says very cool? Because I feel like I picked that up from you. I don't think I say that. Is it
dude, I thought I picked it up from you. Maybe we just collectively did it
so funny.
the same way. Yeah. Great minds
That's
think
funny.
alike, I guess. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
fools rarely differ.
Mm.
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 I'll start laughing
Philosophical
about
on
that.
us.
Well,
Philosophical.
that's the whole saying.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Curiosity
I learned
killed the
something.
cat, but love brought
Look
it
at that,
back.
kids. This is an
Oh.
educational platform as well.
There's a bunch of them that are like basically people are saying in the completely wrong context all the time. I forget what
Yeah.
they're called. Next episode, I'll have a bunch.
Yeah. Look it up. I
Tune
wanna
in.
read it. Tune
Yeah.
in next time.
Tune in.
And speaking
Yes.
of tune in, with that, barring anything else from the fellas, you got anything?
No.
I'm all talked
just
out.
thanks for inviting me onto the show. This has been freaking awesome.
Heck
Thanks
yeah.
for coming.
Yeah. We super appreciate your time and being vulnerable on this podcast with us tonight, as we all talked about more of a serious topic tonight. But yeah, I think with that, don't forget to get into the comments, everybody. And I think this is the Mount Rushmore of podcast signing off. So we'll see you next week.
See ya.
See you later.